Alright guys, welcome back to JDM Cream. You're with me JP, and I have new garage space as you can see behind me. Much more space to do my projects and more projects to come. But at the moment, of course, we have our infamous EVO 6 that we're gonna finish and we're gonna rock out. Alright, let's get started. Looks like we can lift her. Alright guys, she's on the lift. We'll be doing brakes today. Alright guys, let's start by removing these wheels and then we can start bleeding the brakes. Okay, let's start, huh? Always a good idea to have the correct tools, make your job easier. Alright, got some work. Here's that spacer, 7mm. That's necessary to clear the brakes because of the wheel design. The offset doesn't allow enough clearance to the brake or between the brake caliper, the Brembo, and the wheel. It wants to hit right on this inner edge right here. So that's why I got the spacer. Next wheel. Okay, let's get these wheels off. Let's get going. Alright guys, very important step when you're doing this system, always make sure this is topped up with some brake fluid. I'm using DOT 4. Alright, that's topped up. Now it's a good idea, or actually you have to, check it every time you're doing a wheel. So if you're pumping out a lot, do the math. You're gonna have to compensate with the same amount of fluid. That way you don't trap air back into the system and have to bleed the whole car again. So make sure you're always checking that reservoir and always top it up. Let's get started. All right, what we're gonna need to start this process is a bottle with the holes in it. One end of it make sure that it's down in the bottom of the bottle, and make sure you got some brake fluid in here. I'll go ahead and do that. The other side, we'll be putting on the bleeder of the brake, just like that, when this covers off. And that way, when fluid comes out into the bottle, it's not sucking back up air into the system, because that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get the air out of the system. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with some brake fluid, and then we can start bleeding our first brake. All right. All right, guys. Now we've got it filled up part way, so now we can start our process. But before we start, this is a two-person job. So you're going to have a friend or someone that can help you. Someone's got to be on the brake pedal to pump it while you're bleeding the system. Of course, while they're holding is when you're bleeding. So what's going to happen is my assistant, or my wife in this case, will be pumping the brake pedal when I tell her to pump. When I tell her to hold, she'll hold that brake pedal all the way to the ground. I'll release the pressure. Then when I close it and tell her that she can pump again, then she will lift her foot off of the brake pedal and commence pumping again to build the pressure up so I can do the next cycle. All right, so let's get started. I will be starting on the outside of the brake and then doing the inside of the caliper last. I want to do the farthest away first. So, all right, honey, pump. We're not doing anything just yet. We're waiting until she builds up some pressure. Hold. And now while she's holding the brake pressure, I'm not going to release this or open this. All right. Now I close that up before any air follows back up that tube. And we're good to go for another pump. Pump. Hold. Now let's look in that line. I don't know if you can see it right, but let's see. Lots of air. All right. Let's check that reservoir before I empty it and introduce air back into the system. I'm going to go and check that quick, and then we'll be right here back doing the same thing again. All right, let's go at it again. Pump. Hold. Pump. Now there's less and less air in that oil that's coming out. So, very happy about that, but I'm sure we'll have to do the car more than once. Hold. Beautiful. No air. Now let's switch over to the inner. Pump. Hold. On release, let's go check that reservoir. I'll be right back. Pump. All right. Hold. Let's release the pressure and see what comes out here. Yes. Only oil. Pump. Hold. All right. Let's go back to the outer one and let's check this out. Pump. Hold. Release. Okay. Now, the rear farther side is now finished. Well, for now, let's go over to the other side. All right. All right, so we're now on the rear right. And we'll be doing the same thing here. So let's pop these caps off. We can get to these nipples, these brake bleeders. Okay, pump. Hold. Lots of air. Pump. Hold. Okay. That looks nice and solid. Pump. Hold. Okay. Now that's only fluid. I have to check the inner side, but first I'm going to go quick and check that reservoir. Relax. Okay, pump. Hold. Pump. Lots of air still coming out. Maybe that's a little bit better. Hold. Pump. Hold. Let's check this outer one again. Pump. Hold. Pump. Hold. Relax. Okay, now the rear right is finished. Let's move everything to the front left of the car. Okay. Ready for work? Let me check that reservoir one more time just to be safe. Never let it go empty. Pump. Hold. Now we move to the inner side of the brakes. Pump. Hold. Pump. Hold. Relax. At this point, I'm going to check that reservoir again. Front brakes are pretty big. Line was empty, all new lines, so of course it's going to take a lot of brake oil. So let me go check that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, let's go again at it. Pump. Hold. Okay, now we're gonna move out to the outer side. Do that one more time, and then we'll go to the last wheel, which is the front right. Pump. Hold. Pump. Hold. Relax. Okay, this side is now finished for now. Let's go to the last wheel, the front right. All right, I'm going to take everything over. Let's do it. Okay, bump. Last side. Let's see. Hold. Lots of air. Lots of air. Pump. Hold. Wow. So we're going to do the inside and get back to the outside. And then one time should be finished on the car. And like I said, I'm going to do it another time and see if all the air is out. So let's move to the inside. Pump. Hold. Pump. Hold. Okay, now we're going to check the outside again. Pump. Hold. Pump. Hold. Okay, relax. Now I'll check that reservoir one last time. Pump. Hold. Okay. Now that's one cycle completed. That must be done as many times as necessary to get all of the air out of the lines. So check it again, and when from the back to the front of the car when you test it and no air in the lines, then you have completed your job. Alright guys, just got finished bleeding the brake system another time. Didn't find any air in the lines. Now she's ready to go. Brakes are finished. Next episode, we'll be doing the sway bar end links, drop links, and some other things to catch up on the EVO. I'd like to get it running this spring. So, I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. If you like what you see, smash that like button. Don't forget, subscribe for more.